if I hadn't been cutting my freaking grass and hearing you talk on a podcast about cutting grass, what would I be doing right now?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. I am very excited this week because I get to talk to an incredible human being, great friend, old school Flipped Lifestyle OG killer, Kevin Depew of relaxandlearnguitar.com. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a lot. I have no complaints. Life is good.
That's what I like to hear. The life is good. You're in my book. I just wanted to let you know that you are a key character in Earn More, Live More, my new book that's coming out in October of 2024. And I was like, if he's going to be in the book, he's got to be back on the podcast. That's kind of a rule, I think, at this point, right?
All right.
Yeah, man. It's going to tell the story of Flipped Lifestyle, tell about our methodology and like what we do to create membership sites, online businesses, and everything like that. And you've created an amazing online business. Tell everybody what you do and what it is you're doing online.
Relaxandlearnguitar.com is the website. That's also the YouTube channel. And I kind of just send folks to the YouTube channel. And we help music lovers over 40 become the guitar players they've always wanted to be. And we have a lot of fun doing it.
Hey, man. I have two underage guitar players in my house now. Isaac and Anna Joe have been taking guitar lessons all summer.
Nice.
And I'll be sitting. I'm the classic parent downstairs while the kids are playing in their band upstairs. Like I'll just hear guitar drifting through the house all the time. But they really got into it, and they're both doing really, really good. It's amazing to watch them learn that instrument.
Oh, that's awesome! It's so good for the brain and the soul. It's just I could go on and on about that.
Now, the story of your business is kind of amazing because I remember this story well of like you coming in with all kinds of ideas and then I think I remember literally having the conversation with you like, Kevin, if you could do anything, what would you do? And you literally were like, I'd just relax and play my guitar. And to see it become this amazing membership community, I love what you're doing on YouTube. You've got the membership. It's full-time income now. I remember when you quit your job. How has having a full-time online business membership really affected like your life?
Oh, it's completely life-changing. It's the most interesting part is trying to explain our lives to people when they ask.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's like the glazed eye look and just it's over the head. But what it's meant to us is being able to control our schedule, spend time with our family, our friends, actually take better care of or start taking better care of our own health. Things are just less rushed. It's a different kind of stress. It's not, I worked for 30 years in nonprofit administration and an amazing company, an amazing cause, but this is, it's so not like that. In good ways. The stress is different, but it's so much more rewarding to have something that we've created. And since Vicky's my wife, and she's very much a part of the business, and now our dog is too. We've kind of incorporated all that into our YouTube videos, which is where people find us. So we publish on YouTube, people find us and hopefully like us, and then they give us their email for some free lessons. From there, we do email promotions. I do guitar challenges every other month. And that's really we're really in kind of a groove right now. We're basically, what's crazy is we're just repeating the things that I worked on with you and Jocelyn 4 and 5 years ago.
Yeah, songs don't change. It's not like you have to reinvent the wheel every year. It's like if you're playing, a Bob Dylan song, it's going to be a Bob Dylan song next year. You can run the same challenge and you just take the message to a new version. That's what my whole career has been just built on one story. And I just try to tell that story in as many places as possible to as many new people as possible. There's an infinite amount of customers almost in any space when you think about it, how it works. So it's like, you're not going to get like 100,000 customers necessarily in every business, but if there's 100,000 people that might want your thing, you're only probably going to be in front of them, like 1,000 of them at a time. So like you just tell the same story, sing the same songs, do the same thing, sell the same product. And once they get in there, They can just watch the courses. They can implement the process. They can ask you questions. How much interaction do you have like with your community? Do you do like live calls or what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. It's every other week. So we do Coffee with Kevin, which was created during a podcast with you. So still doing that.
There we go.
So
Consistent,
Monday
prolific,
morning.
relentless, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it isn't working, then figure it out and find another way to make it work.
Yeah.
So I do a live lesson. That's more of like a morning time, get your week started off on the right foot kind of thing. Let's hang out, play some guitar, and drink some coffee. And then we also do like a members only lesson. We also do that. That's a little more involved. So members vote on what songs they want to learn. The winning vote is the one that I do each month, and that's specific just to the members. It's not on YouTube. So a couple times a month, we're doing live streams with our members. Everything else in between is just kind of answering questions and really making content. I mean, it's just content creation and editing. And
how many YouTube videos do you create like a week, or like do you create like one a month?
We're just doing one.
Oh,
we're
wow.
doing one a week right now. That wasn't true before, You're like,
God, you have 79,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel right now.
Yeah, we're aiming for 100 by the end of the year. Yeah,
bro, can you imagine
aiming for the silver
back
button
in time and look at yourself when you first joined Flip Lifestyle and were like, I will have 80,000 to 100,000 people in my audience hanging on every strum of my guitar. Can you imagine I will be making my full-time living teaching hundreds of people how to play guitar in my membership, and tens of thousands of people will come to see Kevin Depew. You're like that's a legit rock star. Like when you think about it, like that's incredible. Like imagine a stadium with 80. I went to the Taylor Swift concert last summer with my daughter, and there were 79,000 people in the stadium. You have that many people like Taylor Swift did watching your YouTube channel. Like that's insane, man, when you think about it.
Yeah, I would have said it. I would have told you were crazy. I mean, in the beginning, I was afraid to even really, I should put stuff out there for free and let people see then, got over that quickly, imposter syndrome, got over that. I mean, I pinch myself. I look at Vicky all the time and be like, I can't believe it. She's like, actually, I can believe it because, it took a lot of work and a lot of systems in place to get here, but now we're enjoying that. So
it's I don't know if you remember this. I tell this joke occasionally on stage in different places because it's a great example of like, you weren't in a band, you weren't in a rock star, you're not some former artist that's making guitar lessons for people now,
right?
And like you said to me one time, like when we were talking about this idea, like you were kind of like, who's going to listen to me? You're like, I'm not like Eddie Van Halen or something. And I remember specifically saying to you, I was like, Eddie Van Halen's dead. And even if he was alive, they can't learn from them, but they can learn from you. You have an advantage over Eddie Van Halen because they can actually talk to Kevin Depew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's amazing, dude.
I never get tired of hearing. I just love it when I hear from members about, I played this song at my daughter's wedding. I played this song at my grandkids', birthday party. I'm going to local gigs and hanging out on weekends. I never get tired of hearing those stories. It's awesome.
And your reach goes far. I want to come back in a second and talk about the stress of entrepreneurship a little bit. But I just wrote a note. But like your reach is actually pretty far because one time I was on stage. I think I've told this before. But like I was on stage and I was flipping through examples of people who had joined Flip Lifestyle, who had created membership sites, started podcasts, YouTube channels, and they had really done amazing things. And I was bragging on all of these incredible community members that we've had. And I flipped through your picture and the roadie that was helping me do sound check. I'm about to speak in front of 3,000 people, right? The next day. I'm doing sound check. And this guy stops and he goes, "Hey, I love that guy." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "That's Kevin Depew. I'm in his membership. I'm learning how to play guitar." And I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" Like I was in Tampa, Florida, as far away from home as possible. And this guy he was just he didn't know me from Adam. He just knew I was speaking the next day and he was supposed to test my microphone. And then your picture came up and it's the picture you holding. It's the same picture that's on your YouTube channel right now that I'm looking at. And he goes, "Oh man, I love that guy." And I was like, you talk about a full circle moment for a guy who teaches people how to start memberships and online businesses and freedom. As like, that guy knows kept one of my students more than me. That's pretty impressive, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I will never shake the feeling of that guy saying that and how full circle it was that like that happened on that stage.
Yeah, it's awesome. We cast our pebbles out into that pond, man, and then
cause the ripple, baby. Let them go. You said something interesting about stress. I had a thought yesterday that we can get philosophical here for a minute. And I was thinking about like stress. One of my friends had texted me this meme and it had a pie chart and it was like 4 things that entrepreneurship gets you. And it was like time freedom, unlimited income opportunity, something else, and no stress. But it was fun. There was 4 categories, but in the pie, no stress. There wasn't a no stress slice. It was just not in it. I thought that's pretty funny. And I thought to myself though, like the stress of entrepreneurship, there are stressful things about it for sure, but there's a difference in the stress of working for someone and working for yourself. And in life, what I have definitely realized, especially in the last couple years, is no one gets out alive. No one avoids the stress, right? You are going to have stress and you are going to have challenges in every single category that you pick. But if you choose to do it on your own, if you choose to do it for yourself, you get an additional benefit of freedom. Like we get to do things other people don't do. Like we had a death in the family a couple weeks ago, and I just shut everything down for 3 or 4 days to like go plan the funeral and help figure out where the things were and like help the widow to get through that situation and all of those things. And if I had been working for somebody else 9 to 5, if I didn't have time off, I couldn't have done anything like that. So that trade we make is so worth it. That fear of, oh my God, this is going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Oh my gosh, this is going to be stressful. Some days it is stressful. It is just like whether it's a customer issue or it's something else, like there's definitely stress. But at the same time, I can turn it off. I can go do other things. I can take my kids to school. I can be there for people in my life when they need me. Have you found that trade, like the stress of old working for someone else 9 to 5 compared to the stress of entrepreneurship, but you get the freedom? Like, how has that freedom changed your life?
Yeah, I would take the entrepreneurship one any day, but it took a long time to realize that because it's easy to kind of not easy. It's, when you're working for somebody else and something goes wrong and you just kind of got to either roll with it or complain about it or whatever, that goes away. But I'll take the trade-off. We had a very similar thing with, we had a death Vicky had a death in her family. I have some things going on with my parents. And to be able to be like, my mom call me and say, I really hate to bother you, but can you take me to this appointment, X, Y, whatever it is. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in 30 minutes. I mean,
that's incredible.
That is absolutely unheard of. So the amount of time I've been able to control and then spend it with, time is limited. So I'm much more acutely aware of that as I have a lot more gray hair now than I did when I first started working with Flip.
We are on the back 9 of life. It's hit me so hard. Like my kids, like Isaac started high school this morning and he is little Isaac is 6 foot tall, 185 pounds now.
Wow.
And playing soccer, got a girlfriend, thinking about jobs next summer and what he's going to do in college. And I'm just sitting here going, this is going so fast. And like, if you're not maximizing your minutes and getting some of them back, like to help your parents or me taking my kids to school, like, bro, like, what are you doing? You're wasting all your life away just for somebody else's. Like the person you work for, they're going to their kids' game. They're going to their parents' house. They're going to
the appointments. Yeah.
And you're sitting there so they can do that, and you can do this stuff on your, like, do y'all have a team? Like do you have a team that does anything for you guys or you guys?
We have a team of 2. No, we have a team of 2. We've got over 550 members now.
Jeez, bro, that's ridiculous.
About 15,000 emails on our email list. It's me and Vicky. So, we were saying before, like the stress that it took to build the systems, test the systems, refine the systems, that was a lot, but now we're benefiting from those. And I mean, honestly, I don't have a desire to have a team. I
Wow.
did hiring, administration, firing, training for 20 years. And I don't really want to, I mean, I've contracted out some things, but honestly, with the advances of AI, that's been moving things faster. But basically, Vicky's doing she's the books and the emails and all, and I'm the content creator editor. And I probably should farm out the editing. I just haven't done that.
There's lots of cuss words. There's cuss words that start with sh, right? We
Oh,
know
okay,
one of the
sure.
cuss words that starts with sh, but should is
Yeah,
kind of a cuss word as well, because you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, you should do it.
yeah,
Really? Who says you should do it?
yeah.
You
I
could
mean,
do it.
like,
You know what I mean?
yeah, the folks in my YouTube
Oh yeah, I
community,
know.
so it's all about, pay someone else to do your thumbnails and your titles, pay someone else to edit your videos so you can make more videos and more content. And I'm more in the realm of, once a week is working for us right now. If that changes, then I'll certainly adjust. But, we were doing 2 or 3 videos a week for years, and,
Yeah.
it's a lot. And yeah, the should word is probably, those are probably the folks in my YouTube
Yeah.
community that I'm
Oh
involved
yeah.
in. That's
Yeah,
that's them talking.
I get shoulded a lot. Like, the big thing I always got was the reason I probably got shoulded into high ticket stuff because all my friends were
Mhm,
doing it, and they were like,
mhm,
"Hey man, it's a lot easier to get one person to give you $5,000 than 50 people to give you 100." And I'm like, one, no, it's not probably, and two, I get
mhm,
5,000 a month instead of 5,000 once. So
mhm.
why is that better? Why is upfront money better when you can just build a recurring revenue base that's going to pay
Right.
all your bills, all your people, live a great life? I mean, what's your membership price right now? Is it still $50?
27? No, 27 a
27.
month.
Perfect. So
Hmm.
you got 500 people paying you almost $30 a month. That's great money anywhere in the
Hmm.
country. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you're
Hmm.
living the life, and you live in the Midwest, so it's even better money in the Midwest, even with inflation a
Right.
little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
my friends in Los Angeles and in Boston are like, "What do you
Yeah,
pay?" And
exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah. So
I
hey,
don't have a
you
problem
chose to
with
live
it,
in
but
California. It's not our fault. That is
yeah,
your fault. We're living in Kentucky and
yeah,
Ohio where it's better.
yeah. But he's getting ready to move away from there, so
Yeah, everybody is. But what I was
yeah.
saying is like, you don't have to do it any certain way. You can just do it the way that you want to. Like, I gotta get your stack here. I want to go through like a one of the things that I do in Earn More Live More is we talk about the basic funnel that everybody's got to have,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Like how to actually do the online business. But I'm fascinated because Joss and I have scaled our team way back, and we're kind of going back into me, her. Now I do have an editor. He's an amazing member of the community. His name's Kevin Crow, and that dude's
Oh, yeah.
legit and awesome. You know,
I met him
Kevin. You
at
met him at a live event.
like
At a
your
live
first
event.
live event. Yeah.
We need a new live. We need another live event in 2025. The
Mhm.
but like we do have a couple people that assist with little things like that. But like I'm getting back more into, man, like just what we do, our roots of how we grow up. But so what I'm hearing is, okay, your
Mhm.
main the first thing you got to have is content. Like everyone has to do content if you're going to do a brand like this, especially where you're teaching something. So your
Mhm.
only content I'm hearing is YouTube. Is that all you're doing right now?
Well, I mean, initially we built our membership on Facebook, and it was like you had said, you got time or money, buddy. So which
Yeah.
one are so in the beginning we did spend quite a bit of money on Facebook ads, and that was totally fine because
Okay.
after some major learning curve, it was working and we were getting leads that way. We still have Facebook, but honestly, all we do with Facebook is put the YouTube links on it, which like Facebook
Right.
hates anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say our core is a YouTube channel. We do a weekly video on that YouTube channel, and in every video, there is a chance or an opportunity to get some free, whether it's, I've got kind of lead magnets in, country, finger style, blues, rocket, depending on the video I'm doing, I have kind of a more specific lead magnet for that video. Um, that's how folks get onto our email list.
But let me stop you. I'll get too far ahead. This is a guy making a six-figure business with hundreds of members and thousands of subscribers. We need to calm down here and
All
make
right.
sure that everybody knows how to do this for themselves, because that's what the blueprint is.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and I'm going through the Flip Lifestyle blueprint because it's the same thing we do. So content is YouTube, a weekly video. The next thing you got to do is get people on your list. So every video has a lead magnet. That's good. And you rotate lead magnets. You've got different ones for different videos that are more in alignment with what the video is itself.
We've got maybe 4 or 5 different ones. And so depending on the content of the video we're doing, the lead magnet might be different.
That's crazy. So you're building this whole 15,000 person email list by just rotating 4 or 5 lead magnets. You're not making lead magnets all the time. You're just repurposing them for different videos.
Guess when I made those? When I made those lead magnets.
When?
Probably 4 years ago in your community.
Exactly. Same thing, dude. Our main lead magnet, like if you go to fliplifestyle.com/idea, like that's it. Like we actually really, we had a couple lead magnets we were rotating there for a while, but I'll tell you what I learned by doing the live events. Like I was doing 200 to 400 person live events almost every weekend all across the country. And it was madness. And like what happened was, what we learned was people's belief in themselves came from an idea for their online business. Like kind of like this guitar thing with you. Like once you hit something that was like, this is easy for me. This is what I do. I love this. That's when people really would take action, is once they had that idea in place in the seminar. Like they just knew that they could do it because it was their idea. And we were like, well, that's the best lead magnet we could ever have. Once people have their idea, now we can just teach them how to do the funnels and everything else. But the idea was our pivot point. But you found that just a couple different genres of music helps you have a little bit more opt-in rate or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So they get on the email list. Right. Now, the next thing is, do you still doing email marketing?
They get emails 3 times a week. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Cool. Those emails.
Why not once a week? Why not just one newsletter every Monday?
They don't remember you. They forget you. You want to stay in front of them. I mean,
this is why you're in the book, Kevin, by the way.
Daily. Yeah, I did daily for a while, but we didn't keep up with the daily. But yeah, consistency, I mean, in anything that you do is huge. So our email list is, it's the beginning. It's a very beginner based funnel. And then once that funnel finishes, I just do a broadcast once a week where they'll get, hey, it's Kevin. Here's what's going on with us. And here's this week's free lesson. And it's a link to the YouTube video.
So let me ask you a question. So, you got 3 emails a week. Are those automated, or are you actually sending 3 emails? Okay.
2 are automated and 1 of them I write each week.
Okay. So basically they join the list, and then like every Monday and Wednesday, they're going to get an email for so many weeks, however you've got stored out, basically.
Right.
And then on like a Friday, you're going to give the true live newsletter, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant, dude. That's good. I've actually backed off the daily emailing. I find that like I like to do, I've been doing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And because I like that flow, and I find creatively, because I used to do email every day, like 7 days a week. I did it from like 2015 to like 2018. I just emailed everyone every day because that was like my challenge to myself is, can I email every day? And it worked. I mean, it was amazing. The theory behind that for everybody listening to is, if you're only sending one thing a week, like Kevin said, they're going to forget about you. And also, your goal with email marketing is to catch people on a day they would buy your stuff. So if you're doing it every other day, or you're doing it every day, you're catching people when they're ready to make a purchasing decision or click a link. Like you may email somebody on only Monday and they're at work and they don't click your link and they just archive it. But if you email on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're getting multiple you're 3xing your opportunity for them to click the link and do what you want them to do, right?
3 times more likely for them to click the link and then receive a benefit and actually learn something that then makes them, this guy is able to teach me. I'm going to keep opening his emails and seeing what he's doing. So you 3 times the chance of that happening.
How are you selling things? Are you selling on your email list? Are you doing like a monthly promotion? Like, are you doing a live webinar?
Yeah. multiple levels. So every single email has the PS. If you would like to become part of our membership and be able to have input on the lessons and be involved in exclusive live,
Yep.
lessons with us, click here. That's in every single email.
Man, I love seeing people implementing the funnel, baby. This is exactly how we teach it, dude. Like, it's insane, like that you started this so long ago, and you're still like just doing it's the fundamentals, man. Everyone wants the tricks, but this is the fundamentals of how this works.
I should say, listen to Shane and Jocelyn. It works. You got to take action and do it, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just read about it. Can't just think about it. Can't just talk about it.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, that system is there. But every other month, we'll do like I'll do a promotion that's like a week-long promotion. And that's a very specific, that's also a lot of work up front into that funnel.
Is that why you do it every other month? Because you take a month like to prepare and plan and then get the next one kind of going? Is that why you do that?
Yeah.
Right.
I also have found those promotions really get new people in. So I have to kind of, because I have 10,000 people on my email list, but really, I'd say 5,000 of those people are actually opening the emails. And, it just varies.
The important thing to remember, though, is it's a different 5,000 probably all the time. That's why people get caught up with that. Like, I got 10,000 emails, 5,000 don't open them, though. Yeah, they don't open them today, but you don't know who's opening today and tomorrow. They may, if they open one of those emails a week, and they're in one of those pods, you got a chance to freaking get them, as long as they don't unsubscribe, you got a chance for them to buy.
Yeah. So I'd say it's like every other month we do like a bigger, like a week long, they'll get an email Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And it's a promotion to a discounted rate for the membership.
Okay. So it's like a sale or something, basically.
Yes. Yeah. And but on the off months, so it's better to think of it I could probably explain it better this way. Like January email campaign, February guitar challenge with a pitch at the end of the challenge that says, if you like this challenge, you're going to love the membership. Plus, our members are amazing. And they're all, when I do a challenge, it's not just to new people. Those challenges are also for our members. The benefit for them is that they also have the replay of those challenges in the members area, where folks who are just watching us on YouTube Live, once that challenge is that video, it's done. Like, you got to be there or not, but our members can do the replays. So every other month, it's a week long email campaign. And then we do a guitar challenge on those alternating months.
Yeah.
And that's the system. I mean, I do a Black Friday thing. I had some good luck.
For sure. So basically what I'm hearing is it's just like we always say, like, you're selling every day because there's a PS, it's like, hey, here's my new podcast. Here's my new YouTube video. But PS, we have a membership where you can just learn how to do this and skip all the crap. But then it sounds like monthly, like 1 month, you might have a sale, like a Black Friday sale. But then in December, you might do a challenge. So you're just and is the challenge live? Is it live that you're doing? Okay.
Still doing live challenges. Yeah. Those are all done on. So YouTube, it makes it a little nervous. Not maybe where putting all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. But YouTube is a definite steep learning curve and a big deal with kind of consistency and just trying things. But if you can stick with it, be consistent, and take some chances, you're going to find what works for you. And the live challenges on YouTube, one of our members described it as, it's the gateway drug to Relax and Learn Guitars membership. So
good.
If you come to a challenge, you're going to get live interaction with myself and Vicky and my dog. And, we're going to take time and, explain things and have a good time doing that. And then at the end, it's just followed up with 2 emails. Hey, you finished the guitar challenge. I've got a special gift for you. And I'll do a nice, it might be like a pretty well edited video and a PDF. And because you came to the challenge, you also have the opportunity to join our full access membership at this rate.
Yeah.
And that it's like 2 or 3 emails at the end of that challenge week. And that's worked really well for us.
And so when did you start Relax and Learn Guitar? What year?
Oh my gosh.
17 maybe, or
We got our first member early 2017.
2017. And
But
when did you
I mean,
quit your full-time job?
I quit my full-time job 3 years ago in July, so a little over 3 years ago.
So 2021, and
So
now
that
you're
would have
rolling
been,
2024. So let me get this straight. Okay. So you make a weekly video, ask
Mhm.
people to join your email list. You email people with a PS in every email, and then once a month you do a promotion of some kind. And that has
Yes.
sustained you for the last 7 years. That's pretty
Yeah.
remarkable, Kevin Depew. I mean, people overcomplicate. Hey, listen, guys, the whole point of my book, Earn More, Live More, is to show people like, hey guys, if you're watching this on YouTube and you're looking at me and Kevin Depew, we are the most average looking normal dude. You're better looking than I am. You got the beard, but like we are just normal dudes.
Flattering.
And literally, when I look at this, I'm like, this is exactly what the book teaches. It's exactly what Flipped Lifestyle teaches. And it's like what everyone else is freaking out about. Like everyone's like, AI is amazing to make things easier, but it's not the miracle.
Hmm.
Like these are the fundamentals. Like people watch
Hmm.
content, people check their email, people love live stuff. I love that you're using those live challenges. That's a really, really big deal. And like this
Hmm.
is how the internet works. This is how internet marketing works. And if you just stay on it and just every month, it's like you had, like you said, you got your first member in 2017. Well, maybe you get
Hmm.
the second one, the third one, the 10th one, the 100th one. Once you get to 400 or 500 members and you're making a great living, then it's just how far do you really want to push it? Like, are you going to go medieval and run ads? Are you going to build a team? Do you want to scale? And like
Right.
people chase these huge numbers when they should be chasing simplicity. Well, I'm not gonna should. They could be chasing simplicity and freedom, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Hmm.
that's what it's all about. And it's just remarkable. You're running this just you and your wife by yourself. No virtual assistants, no
No
crazy
virtual assistants.
employees.
Yeah. I did have to get a CPA, but other than that,
Well, you don't want to mess with the government. They'll take everything you
no,
got.
no, we're
Okay.
making sure we're paying our taxes
Pay
for
your
sure. Yeah.
profit first, 15% every
Yes.
month, every dollar
Yes.
period, 15%.
Yeah.
I've never screwed that up since I read that book in 2015. I've always had more money than I needed for taxes, and that is an
Yeah.
amazing feeling. Because I have friends right
Yes.
now, man. They got like a lot of tax money owed, and they're freaking out. And I'm like, guys, 15% gross is not yours. Just do that. Don't make this
Yeah,
hard.
just put it away. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's simplifying, but I mean, getting, trudging through the fear and the murkiness and the highs and lows. If you can do that, I mean, I owe a lot to the community at Flip Lifestyle because that, there's the blueprint, but when you're working through that stuff to do that with other people that are doing, and that's how I modeled my own membership. Like our members are very supportive of each other, and we, foster that. And if folks aren't being nice, they aren't in the membership anymore.
that's
So
exactly right.
I pay very careful attention to like, it's a positive vibe and it's a supportive thing. It's safe for them to, our members share videos so they can get feedback from me and feedback from other members. And that's a scary thing to do when you're first starting out, but it's important. I feel like that was something I kind of took from the Flip Lifestyle community of, it's not just kind of going in and taking, you got to share, you got to help. And then that
Yeah.
stuff comes back to you. I honestly believe that. Yeah.
That's right. That's where you learn. Like, like even today, it's almost I heard the other day a quote said, wisdom is taking your own advice. Because
Wow.
because like when you like when I'm like when me and you've always we've talked been talking business now for years. And it's like,
Mhm.
it's like when I say something to Kevin, like when I look at this, like I don't have any critiques or anything, but let's say that I was looking at something on here and I was like, hey man, like instead of a PS, try this thing where you PS at the top or something. I'm just
Mhm.
making something up. But if I say
Right.
something that's fundamental like that, when I say it to you, I sit and think about it and I'm like, oh crap, what if I did that? Right. And that's
Mhm.
that's why the community was so important to us in the beginning, because like I realized when I was learning how to do all this stuff that I learned from programs I bought, and I'm a big believer in become if you buy a course, a community, or a coaching program, your goal should be to become that person's best testimonial, because if you do that, you will get your money out of that product, right? Like, because
Mhm.
and then you'll get benefit beyond the purchase, because if you're their best testimonial, I literally today am on the Smart Passive Income podcast for the 5th time. I think I've been on it more than anybody else in the world.
Oh, nice. That's where I found you.
Exactly. I'm his best testimonial, like literally. So it's like, but he's also my friend. You know what I mean? Like and he's also my coach and everything else he's ever been for me. But like when you do that, you get to go out. But then when you participate like that, that's where I learned everything. I learned from my mentors and I learned from programs I bought. But really where I learned was when I was in those programs with 5 other people and we were bouncing each other's ideas and talking to each other and just they were asking questions I hadn't even thought of yet. And I had the answers when those things came up in my life because I was involved in a community. Like I think you can build this stuff all by yourself, pull your bootstraps up and figure it all out. But why? It's so hard to do it not in a community setting. And Flip Lifestyle was designed to create the community that Jocelyn and I had the opportunity to find because we were a little crazy and we were traveling all over the country and meeting all these people. And I was like, people can't just go to live events and they can't just go to all these places. But what if there was a place online where it was like, oh, we're all in this together. And no matter how long it takes, I'm gonna get that done. There's another lady that's coming on the podcast. Her name's Bonnie Finnerty. She was at one of the live events. I think have you met Bonnie before? She was at Flip Your Life Live in 2019, I think. Bonnie, her business really took a long time. It took a long time. Like she came to one of our first live events, I think in 2015 or something. And like, but she sent me an email last week and she was like, I want you to know that our business is going to do like 300 grand this year. And
whoa,
insane, right? Like big time, $250,000 and up, maybe it's getting big time. Right.
Yeah.
But she was like, but she's all the things she could have said in this one paragraph email. She said, I could not have done this if I was not in this community because this community like never let me give up. Oh, I'm about to cry. Like that's why you need a community like Flip Lifestyle because it helps you get over all those hard times when things are smacking you and they're going to smack you in the face sooner or later.
Yes.
Like somebody's changing an algorithm on you and you're like, crap, I'm scrambling now. Right. Yeah, man.
You said something that really stuck with me. I mean, you've said I have lots of Shaneisms that have stuck with me, but one thing you had told me was if you really want to grow your business, help somebody else grow theirs.
Exactly.
And I flip that and think the same. Like if you really like, I 10, 15 years ago, I didn't think I'd be a guitar teacher online, folks. And when I try to explain that to people think, yeah, I'm a guitar teacher. And they kind of have the vision of, 2 or 3 students that come to my house a week to learn. And I'm like, well, no, it's not exactly like that.
Yeah. I'm filling stadiums with 80,000 people, baby, on YouTube.
But the amount that I have, I mean, just from teaching, like I'm forced to get better at playing the guitar, which is just a huge bonus for me because I love it. But, when folks are like asking for songs or things, I got to go figure that stuff out and then I got to show it to them. And that has made, if you just inverse that to either whether it's business or it's, getting along with people or if it's, just, having a better outlook, all those things happen when you're surrounded by people that are, trying to do that too.
Trying to do the same thing. That's right, man.
Yeah.
Do you run any ads at all still? Do you still do any ads?
We have not ran an ad in 3 years.
Wait a minute. So you can build an amazing business without running ads? No, you can't.
I would recommend it actually.
don't tell me. Listen, all these people out there. No, you cannot do that. Everybody's got to run ads. You got to give Facebook all your money.
No, it's time or money. I mean, I'm not going to poo-poo on ads. We ran, like I said, the first 2 years, that was all the money we made went into YouTube, into Facebook ads. Almost all of it. It was a lot, and, that was on purpose. I had a full-time job. I was really trying to figure out where can I get this in the timeline to be able to jump from this job, to this. And initially it was, and we wouldn't be doing what we're doing without those Facebook ads. But if YouTube's a different beast, but if you can get on there and be consistent and start making connections, those organic leads have been so much more valuable to us than
for sure
the paid ads.
It's the relationship you just have with people. And also too, it's like what you said about the community. Like I think there's 2 ways to blow up a community. The first one is go after cold traffic only. It's really hard, I think, to build a coherent like culture in your community when you're just blowing it all on cold ads and cold people and retention's lower and everything else. And then the second thing I think is to scale too fast. Like if your membership just absolutely gets unwieldy because it goes viral or something.
Yeah.
I think we kind of had, I think something that got away from us, you know, when we went out into the seminar world and we were doing like all these things, we grew like crazy. But
Mhm.
these were basically people who, I mean, we definitely spent a lot of time with them and built that relationship with them. But they didn't have that vested interest of, I've heard, you know, 6 months of Shane's podcast and Jocelyn's material to know what we're really trying to do here. So we had to have this immense onboard. I had like 3 people onboarding people. Like it was crazy to try to just acclimate them to like what was actually happening. And then they still kind of didn't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that anybody out there did anything wrong, but it became hard to manage, right? It became hard as the community just exploded. Everything grew like crazy. Our coaching program really flourished. And then, but the culture of the actual community was always this elusive, like hummingbird that you were like, I know where it is and I know I can grab it, but it's going to take me a couple swings this week to like
Yeah.
get it under control. And that's a product of having, I'm not bashing ads either. I'm going to run ads. Cold ads are fine. You know, getting
Mhm.
people into your stuff is good.
Yeah.
But it is, you can build a very good organic base if you're just consistent,
Mhm.
prolific, and relentless. So you're consistent. You consistently make a video every week. You're prolific. You're emailing your list 3 times a week. That's prolific emailing. That's incredible. Right. And then the relentless part always comes, you know, people think I'm talking about like the sales and like the marketing and all that. And yes, as an
Oh,
entrepreneur, be relentless. I'm talking about your community. Like it's relentlessly serving each other. That's the only way you're ever going to keep everything in focus and keep them like all together in your membership. Because retention's everything when you're running a membership model, you know?
oh yeah, yeah. And I found we have it's a private Facebook group that,
Mm.
I mean, our community does go inside the members, we just call the members area and talk that way. But I'd say 80% of our members join our Facebook group. And the folks that join the Facebook group, the retention there is just
It's through the
enormously
moon.
better.
It's a
Yeah,
part of their
because
daily routine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and it's already kind of there. And, I'm a big proponent of like, there's enough like crazy, stressful, bad things happening in the world. Like, let's just hang out for 30 minutes and play guitar and have a good time.
Yeah, what a cool thing though. You're scrolling through your news feed, you're seeing all this crap, but then you see your group of guitar buddies and you just go hang
Yeah,
out with them for a minute, right?
yeah,
It's like having a cigar with your friends. Just,
yeah,
every time they see you on Facebook. Yeah.
yeah. They're all wanting a
Let me ask you a question. This is peer to peer now. This is colleague to colleague. This is
okay.
you're welcome to the round table, my friend. This is what we're talking about here, right? Like, but like it's
Alrighty.
interesting. My stance years ago originally was to use a forum, to use your own platform and own your community. Okay, like the
Mhm.
where they hung out, right? And then, but back then people don't remember that like when groups first came out, because we're dinosaurs, we've been around since 2012. Like when groups first came out on like Facebook and stuff, I saw people build huge groups and then Facebook for no reason the algorithm would just turn it off and just cancel their whole group and they'd lose their whole community just like that. I feel like things have changed. I don't feel like that really happens anymore. You know what I'm saying? As much. But like, do
Yeah.
you like what led to the decision of, you know what, let's just do this in a Facebook group. They'll have their courses on our website. I want to talk about your website for a second too, because it's awesome. But like what led to that decision to just go with Facebook? Was it just that it's already there, you don't have to teach them anything kind of deal?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably, and because when we first started, that was always part of the community. It wasn't like we added it later. I always had the idea of membership area and forums and interaction there, and people do. They'll ask questions in there and talk to each other. At about 1/10 of what they do in
Yeah.
the Facebook group, and it was always another Shaneism like I don't know if it was if you it's along the lines of putting your eggs in one basket and not having control of your platform. It makes me a little nervous. We've had a couple of hiccups with Facebook that get most of my challenges come from copywriting
Mm.
songs and whether it's considered a fair use issue or not. and being careful with like, melodies and that kind of thing. And we've had
Sure.
a couple of issues with Facebook groups because of that. So I have to be very aware of what I'm doing that way because the computers
Yeah, the
pick that up.
algorithm can hear music and know if it's someone else's song
Yes.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interesting.
Luckily, it's gotten a lot better at realizing, oh, this is someone else's song, but this person is teaching that song. They're
Exactly.
not,
Yeah.
benefiting from, not playing it at live and, charging admission or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but the Facebook thing from the beginning, they were really close. Like it was about the same amount, but the more people we got into our membership, the more of them that were more engaged in the Facebook group. So we've just
So it's a sliding scale then of okay. So it's just entrepreneur risk. We all risk everything every day in our business. So let's say you start at zero. Well, if you pull the lever to the left, then we get more engagement, which makes more retention, which makes more money. But we're getting farther away from the controlling our platform. So there's a little risk there that it's something, but the reward is definitely worth the risk because the engagement's better and you get retention is better when you do it that way.
Yeah. And I always kind of think like, what's the worst thing that happens? Like Facebook pulls the plug, we still have the forums and we'll just work hard at making that the section or, I'll find another platform.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I tell you what I've thought about like just strategically, like because we're kind of like we're looking at the blueprint. We're actually reshooting the blueprint just to make sure we're really updating everything and also streamlining it. It kind of over the years we just kept adding to the blueprint and it's really big now. There's just so much content in there. So we're like, I need to streamline it down. Like the book made me think this. I wrote the book to kind of just lay out the simple sales funnel, like exactly what you just wrote down on this piece of paper. I wrote down about yours. And like, I was like, we need to teach it this way. And then if they want that it's not old content, but it's other content, that'll be in a separate library. And I thought about having this time in the blueprint area. One thing we've never done is turn comments on our courses where people can ask questions directly on the courses because we wanted to push people to the forum so everyone could enjoy those conversations without digging in the content. But I have considered a Facebook group to kind of move the community towards a Facebook group and have the comments on the courses. So now you get that good interaction at the content level in your teaching. Right. It's right there with that training. So that builds up over time. It makes it look more robust. It's kind of like a Q&A on your courses. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's on Facebook, man. Just do the Facebook group and like hang out there. And the only thing that adds is when people cancel, you kind of got to go kick them out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's,
it's part of the job.
Just a system thing, how you organize and keep that happening. And then I do have members that say, you know what, I'm not going on Facebook and I'll never be on Facebook. And I just say, that's totally okay. All the content in the Facebook group that I do, Coffee with Kevin's and the live lessons, that gets put into the members area. So they're just not experiencing it live, but they're not missing. I make it clear, you're not going to miss any of our content. You just won't be able to interact live in the Facebook group.
That's incredible, dude.
What you're talking about with like the course, almost, I would say 90% of our engagement in our forums is people talking about, it's not, the same idea. So you guys have trainings and courses. I have lessons. It's the lessons. So if the lesson's right there, the video's right there, and they can make a comment or ask a question under that specific lesson, and then we answer it or they answer each other. That's kind of one section. And then I kind of think of the Facebook group as like the hanging out socializing section. If you got people doing both those things, they're gonna stick around.
They're gonna stick around because they're gonna get used to it. Is your website on WordPress? What's hosted on right now?
Yeah.
What is your website? Yeah.
The original OG WordPress website. I did hire
I got one of those.
Yes.
I got WordPress.
I did hire a website, a guy who helps me, who I met through Flip Lifestyle. And that's been very helpful. So like the technology thing, when you're talking about stress, when I had a technology issue in my old job, like you just sent a message to the IT people and went about your day. Now I got to freak.
You're an entrepreneur. You are the IT guy.
Like, I got to figure this out and fix it. And, I can do that a lot, but we have had to invest in some support for those things because just as the traffic it increases and, more plugins, more things that can go wrong, but we do try to keep it very simple.
We had a meeting this morning. Fliplifestyle.com is still on WordPress, because we've been around so long that we're just everywhere on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And all those pages, all the stuff. But what I'm noticing, like we did a little research this morning. We just did some searches, Shane and Jocelyn, Shane Sams, Flipped Lifestyle, stuff like that, just to see what was coming up. Everything now is like, if you search for me, like if you search for Shane Sams, of course you're going to see my website and flippedlifestyle.com because Google knows that's where we live. But most of it's like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube channel, like whatever. Like they're indexing those platforms more anyway. So it's like we're just thinking about, let's just put everything back on Kajabi, host the main site there, even if we lose some old content, like because it doesn't really transfer over as good. Probably just going to do that because Google knows, ChatGPT knows, and they're not going to like lose everything that you have.
Right.
And we host our membership on Kajabi anyway, so we might as well just let the main site live there. And that's what I was looking at your site too. Like this is another trend I'm seeing. I think when we all started, maybe, like it was like blogging and like posting every week and like doing all these things. But now all our content kind of just lives on Apple and Spotify and YouTube. So it's like my website at shanesams.com is just, this is me. Here's my book. Here's my podcast. You want to work with me? Click these 2 links. And it's like, it's just a portal almost. Because by the time they land here in this day and age, they've already watched you on YouTube. They've already seen an ad. They've already done something else. So it's like now they've taken the step down your funnel to give you an email or give you some money. So why get in their way with these vast? But I know bloggers that are still doing it and still blogging every day and Substacks. Crap too, man.
I mean, on our website, I haven't added any new content to that website in probably 2 years. I kind of consider our YouTube channel like that's the website.
Yeah,
and
100%.
The conversions happen much higher on our YouTube channel than they do on our website. So
yeah, for sure.
I can track where people are coming from, and it's from YouTube. And the good and bad. So like summer, this past 2 months has been really slow, and I get into those. I worry more than Vicky does, and she's always like, "It's gonna be okay."
Oh, if you don't wake up at least once a week and say, "All right, it's been a good run, it's over," you're not an entrepreneur. You're just not. No, that's what you're signing up for. That's life, baby. Hey, the chemical difference in your body in anxiety and excitement is the same. It's just all about the framing. Right. So it's like the cortisol's coming every morning to wake you up. It's just how do you frame it in your mind? And that's where all the mindset stuff in Flip Lifestyles for. It's like, what happens when you feel this way? Well, it's probably a story. The story's 10 times worse than what you did. I was like my daughter, Anna Jo. We were taking her to get her ears pierced for back to school shopping. She wanted to get her ears pierced. So, she had a budget for her clothes, and we said, well, if you want your ears pierced, you're going to have to pay for it out of your own pocket. And she was like, dang it. So she goes and buys this. So she sat in that chair. She had her ears pierced when she was 1 year old, the one hole that she's got. She wanted 2 more in each ear. So she went in there and she sat down and she was terrified. She was like, it's going to hurt. I'm freaked out. She was almost having an anxiety panic attack in this chair. And she's like, Isaac went over and held her hand. It was so sweet. I got an awesome picture for it. Like they were holding hands, and she was just for 10 minutes. She's like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. And then like finally we were there. She was like, okay, go. And she didn't even feel it. And that's entrepreneurship, man. That is being in online. That is when sales are slow. That's when nobody opens your email. Nobody will click the link. Nobody watches your video. You're like, this is terrible. It's over. This is all going to die. But it's not. It's the story that you're telling yourself around that incident that's causing all the problems in your head. And if you can get past the story or rewrite the story, like if she had just sat down and was like, it might pinch. If she just told herself that and sat down and did it, she wouldn't have even thought anything about it. But she worked up in this story. It's going to hurt. It's going to bleed. It's going to And that's what we have to do in a community, and we have to do in coaching is remove the story that you can't play guitar. Remove the story people are going to laugh at you. Remove the story, this, that, whatever the stories are. If you can get past those and learn how to rewrite your own stories in your head, then all those fears and all that anxiety just goes away. And then you just get to work. You just do the things. It doesn't matter what you do. It only matters that you do. But you have to get past the story to do. And you can't do that by yourself. You just can't sit in your head and do that all alone.
I love these little nuggets.
I also taught her a good lesson on budgeting. She was so this is the first year our kids have lived a very privileged life. They have no idea. They have no idea how broke mom and dad were back in 2011. Okay,
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah.
right. But we gave them a budget this year because they're both going into like high school ish age, and we're like, okay, it's time to start learning about money on your own. So we gave them money. They have their own budget, and so she'd already selected to get less clothes and get her ears pierced, right?
Mhm.
And then the lady goes, hey, we're going to put silver studs in your ears, but we can upgrade them to gold if you want to look at them. And she goes, oh, I want to look at them. I want to look at them. And she looked at them, and the girl, she goes, how much are those? And I've never seen Anna Joe ask how much something is, because daddy take
Oh,
spoils are rotten. And she goes,
it's
the
her
girl
dollar
goes,
bill.
hold on. Yeah, exactly. I was like, it's $40 a ear is what they told her. And she goes, can I do that? And I said, if you spend your money. And I saw the wheels turning, and she goes, I'll take the silver.
Yeah.
It was incredible, man. Like, so she got in that 1 hour exchange, she got some ultimate life lessons of
Yes.
money and story and how it affects the way that you act in the real world. Yeah,
There's
man.
life lessons that will serve her well. Yeah.
Serve her well.
But they did the correct thing by trying to upsell. They should have done
They
that.
did. I respect. Hey, game respects game. I would have been disappointed if they didn't give her the offer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But see, I was more disappointed in that person because of their salesmanship. I would have totally sold Anna those $40 earrings if that had been me piercing her ear. I'd have $80 extra in my pocket
Yes.
right now. I'd have got her across the finish line. But
Nice.
dude, man, you've done so good, man. I love being your friend. I love watching you from afar and seeing the things you do online, because you pop up in my news feed all the time because we're always like checking connected. Yeah, and it's just amazing what you've built, and you've got this evergreen concept. Like, no one's going to stop playing guitar. Like, you can do this as long as you want. You can keep pushing it. There's always going to be people over 40 wanting to play guitar.
Yep.
And you guys have put in the work, and I love just the fact that you and your wife are doing it as a team. You're making it happen every single day. And then how many hours a week do you guys work? Like right now? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's a huge part. Like, if you, like, I would tell folks, like, invest in yourself, like, get over the fear that you're going to have to spend some money on learning some things. If you can have a supportive spouse, partner, whatever, huge game changer. I would say, and I'll get to ask that, like, the issue is, in my head, I never stop working. So,
I totally get
I'm
that.
always like I'll tell people, here's how much I work, and Vicky's always like, yeah, but you're always thinking about it and asking me questions. So we have gotten much better. We have a weekly business meeting, and we go over our plan for the week and what she's doing, what I'm doing, and I've gotten much better at trying to keep the conversations about shop talk to a minimum in between those, because it can turn into like the only thing you talk about, which is probably not like the healthiest thing in the world to do.
Yep.
But I would say, like, legit time, like, I probably work from like 10 to like 1 or 2 every day. I mean, and then throw in like the live stream that we're doing is in the evenings, but I don't, it's fun. So, but I mean, 3 or 4 hours a day to, keep the wheels turning, keep the content, keep the editing, and keep the marketing. It's just, I have a very specific system of like, here's what I know needs to be done, and I know when it needs to be done by. I know what I'm good at, and Vicky knows what she's good at, and it has just really, when I was able to stop working full time at my old job and just really do this, we've more than doubled the membership in size in those 3 years, where it took 5 years or whatever it is, to get up to that point. But when you can go all in on it, and
this is, I told Jocelyn, I remember the thing that convinced her to quit her job was, one, I laid out that exact thing you just said. I was like, we could get up and take our kids to school and go to the gym and work from 10 to 3 and pick them up. We could do this, and we could make a full-time living with no cap. And then I said, and I remember telling her, if this is what we can do part-time, what could we do full-time?
Yeah.
And we went all in. And so far, so good. We made it. So, man, it's incredible.
I'm so glad you did.
It's crazy. We live in a society where you can work 20 hours a week, make probably as much money as you really want to, and live a great life and serve your family and people around you. And that's remarkable. We are so lucky to be born at this time in history. And honestly, if you're not taking advantage of it, then that is a waste, because you were born in a time where the sum of all human knowledge is in a phone in your hand, and you have access to tools like YouTube and podcasting, where literally you can reach as many people as you want. This is my guest bedroom, bro. And I almost,
that's where I'm at.
yeah, I have a studio and stuff I set up in my other house, but I'm just like, I just would rather not leave and just work in my guest bedroom all day. It's the same microphone. What do I care? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have we have our YouTube room, but we really on it. That's an interesting thing. We've kind of stopped doing that. All of our YouTube videos now take place in our living room in front of our fireplace. It takes a little more time to set it up, but it's a much different feeling. Like, I'm a normal dude. I'm going to hang out and show you this stuff. You know, and it's just more personal than, I've got the RBG lights and, I got all that stuff, but I'm moving away from that and just like,
nah, man, I like simple, bro.
On, and let's hang out.
Yeah, man. Good lighting, good mic, good conversation. And that's what this has been, dude. So everybody out there, this is an example of what's possible. And if you're not taking advantage of the tools, that's on you. All you need is a good idea. Kevin, I'm proud of you, man. I love you, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'm so proud of you guys. Tell everybody one more time where they can, if there's for somebody over 40 and they're listening to this podcast, they want to learn guitar, where can they find Kevin Depew at?
Go to Google and search for Relax and Learn Guitar YouTube. That's the best thing you can do.
All right, man.
If you really want to get the nitty gritty, you can go to relaxandlearnguitar.com.
All right, guys, that wraps up my interview with Kevin Depew. Man, I am so impressed and so proud of Kevin. He's a great student. He's a great friend. He's a great client. He's a great member. He's a great everything, man. And guys, did you hear what he's built? This is 2024. This still works exactly like we lay it out in the Flip Lifestyle Blueprint. You make content. He does a weekly video on YouTube. He's consistent. He has a lead magnet on his videos to get people on his email list. He emails his list 3 times a week. He sells in every email, exactly like we teach you in the Blueprint. And about once a month, he does some kind of 1-week promotion. And that's how he grows his business. That's how he builds an incredible income, that's how he has a life of freedom, where he's working from 10 to 1:30 in the daytime. And he's doing it with an idea and something that he loves, playing guitar. Like, this is what's possible. Not just playing guitar, teaching other people how to passionately love guitar. Like imagine how he felt when someone said, I took your course. I learned how to play a very specific song because I wanted to play it at my daughter's wedding. Man, that's an impact on top of all the income, on top of the amazing lifestyle that he has built for him and his family. And that's what's possible for you guys too. It's all available. Everything you need, all the tools are pennies compared to what they should be. I mean, you can join a Kajabi and set up a whole website, whole membership area, whole everything for a couple $100. A couple $100 a month to go out and make thousands a month. Online business is where it's at. And we can help you start, build, and grow a business of your own over at flippedlifestyle.com. That's what my new book, Earn More, Live More, is all about. It's my story of how I started, built, and grew an online business back in 2012. We have over a dozen case studies in Earn More, Live More of people just like Kevin Depew, people who you will hear right here on the Flip Lifestyle podcast over the next few weeks and months. And we have the step-by-step process to start, building, grow an online business, to go into more detail of all these steps that Kevin was talking about today that he learned inside the Flip Lifestyle Blueprint. All that more is our new book, Earn More, Live More, How to Make Money Online and Build a Life of Freedom. Hey, if you'd like to get a copy of the book, all you got to do is go to shanesams.com. If you're listening to this before the book gets out, you can get on the waiting list, and I will send you an email to tell you about how you can get a free copy of the book. All you have to do is pay a little bit of shipping and handling. That's shanesams.com to check out my book. You can also find it over at flippedlifestyle.com, FLIPPED, lifestyle.com. And you can check out all the resources that we have to help you find your idea, to help you start, build, and grow an online business of your own so that you can have the income you want, the time freedom you deserve, and make an impact out in the world. So check all those resources out. That's all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I hope it inspired you to get out there, to take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. We'll see you next time.